Welcome to the next level with Keith, where clarity replaces confusion and simple systems lead to real freedom. Every episode begins with intention, music that centers your mind, lifts your spirit, and prepares you for transformation. This is your space for growth, your place to reset, your moment to rise. Rethinking your thinking, because when you shift your mind, you shift your money. Stack and grow, where small, intentional steps turn into lasting wins. Simple strategies, real progress. Your circle, your currency, because your network matters. Mobile money moves, business, income, and empowerment from the device in your pocket. This isn't just talk, it's guidance, it's strategy, it's movement. Welcome to the next level with Keith. Let's begin.
Let me say welcome, welcome, welcome again to the next level with Keith. I'm excited. And yes, you saw me do my little sax thing here. Yes, I've been saying it, but sometimes good to show it. Yes, so this is my baby, my little extra wife. She's so curvy and nice, and I just know how to blow her and make her feel good. So, yes, the song you heard me playing was a song I wrote many, many years ago, and it's titled "It Will Be Okay." So yes, we're going to a very rocky season here in America and around the world. A lot of things are happening. Some are concerned, some are anxious, some are a little confused, some are like anxious. But the song says it will be okay, and I'm here to hopefully inspire someone, motivate somebody, and also bring a sense of, I would say, hope despite all that's going on. All right. So, yes, this is Keith, and we're here on podcast episode five. Five alive, y'all. Five. And my God, how fast time is climbing. I can't believe it. That's how fast it is moving. That's why I always say, whatever we do, we got to make haste. We can't delay too much. All right. We have to just make a move and let the rest take place. All right. But before I begin this episode here, episode five, I want to thank you all for allowing us to now have 125,000K views, y'all. How about that? 125,000. Oh man, that's a real nice milestone. And guess what? We are looking even further. So very soon we want to go to 150 and then maybe 200. Who knows, right? It never ends for us because we're not putting the cap on. We're taking the limits off our emotions, off our minds, off those naysayers. We're taking the limits off because guess what? We know with God, all things are possible. And at the end of the day, my creator is my source. All right. And so I'm so glad for 125,000K views. Yes, I also want to share something nice with you again that I mentioned last week I was going to talk about in this episode. Give a little hint if you all remembered. I talked about memberships, y'all. All right. And it's kind of cool because as I'm watching things happen here, it's like it's just so cool. So I put my glasses on and give you the scoop on the memberships. So you can be a part of this right here because we're making it big. All right. And want to give you as much value as possible. So we have the Freedom Chasers membership. All right. And you may see it on your screen. All right. That's Freedom Chasers membership. And that come with some cool things, loyalty badges, what I'm saying, emoji and that kind of thing. All right. And we have the freedom supporter. All right. The freedom supporter, as you can see on your screen, what that entails. All right. I'm so excited for that. And then we have what? We have the next level insider. So you're getting more for your buck, right? Taking it inside to the inner circle, right? So it's your choice, but it's all good. It's all beautiful, right? We're taking it in and we're giving you more for your buck. All right. Now you have the next level builder. All right, next level. We're getting crazy now. We're taking this a notch up right now. All right. So we have the next level builder membership, and of course, the first membership, as I mentioned, Freedom Chasers, that's $2.99, and then we have the Freedom Chaser, that's $7.99, and we have the next level Insider, that's $14.99, and we have the next level Builder, and that's for $24.99. So pretty excited about that, and so pretty thankful for that. Yes. So tonight, as we begin our segment here, I'm excited about this one in particular because it really speaks a lot to me and my experience that I've had, just over the number of years trying different things and exploring this online space that has taught me so much. And I want to talk to you about it tonight. And, the title for this segment here tonight is simply says breaking free from microwave expectations to achieve lasting success. Can I say it again? Breaking free. As a matter of fact, let me get my mic because you may be a little clearer with my mic. I don't know how it sounds to you guys. And by the way, if it sounds okay, give me a thumbs up. Put something in the chat. Let me know that you're hearing me okay. All right. So, breaking free from microwave expectations to achieve lasting success. All right. And we know where where folks want it like right now. And there's no saying when they say, when do you want it? Everybody's saying, we want it now. So I get it. I get it. And, I was a victim of that kind of narrative. I wanted things to happen fast. As a matter of fact, it was kind of the way it was marketed to me was that you want fast answers or fast results so that we can show and that we can get more people to join you, right? Because it's like you're saying, if you get it fast, then they will get it fast too. But that was really, it was self defeating. I mean, I didn't know at the time, but it wasn't the way to really go with that. And I realized that the problem with the microwave expectations is that you miss steps, all right? And it's just like when you're building anything, a building, or you look even if you look at mathematics, it's like a building block. You build each step at a time. But having this microwave kind of idea, man, I tell you, I learned some real horrible lessons. Um, and a lot of people, there was some money driven that they probably meant well. They probably did what they were told or taught, right? So people tend to repeat what they learn, right? Some have ill will. They have ulterior motives, and some generally just don't know any better, and so they're doing what they think works. And what they did also, they showed the few people who had actually success quickly, or what seemed like success quickly. All right, so you have 100 people, you may find two or three that did very well for some strange reason. They had some lucky hit somewhere, or maybe they had a group that we didn't know about, and the group came over with them. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people who had success, and not because it started from scratch, we just didn't know it, and they weren't transparent about that. So they had maybe 100 people lined up already. I didn't know that. So when we started, I had none. They had 100. So the first week, oh, we made 10 grand. We made 20 grand. I'm thinking, what did he do? Where did he go? I mean, what did he eat? What did he drink to get that kind of result? But they weren't transparent about that. And sometimes us not knowing those things, or I'm not knowing those things, felt real small and real, like I know what I'm doing. And it really felt frustrating. And it built anxiety. And then you start thinking how you can now harass people. And even though you felt you weren't doing it, but if you look back, you probably were harassing some folks. You were being a little bit too overly pushy, and that also gave me a negative feedback. All right. So the mindset affects your online ambitions. And had great ambitions. I had written down some things I had in mind, what I want to do and where I want to go, on what I want to achieve. All right. But the pressure to succeed fast, man, was a problem. All right. I ended up spending money on things I didn't understand because I thought it might have worked. So I would get these things, call them recapture pages, didn't know how it worked. I would get these things called autoresponders and how to connect them with the capture lead capture pages. I would do something called email marketing by getting a particular um, uh, platform that supposedly I was now able to get those emails and put them in a particular um, call it program and have them send out. I'm trying to like learn these things, and to me, it's like speaking French. It was like speaking Japanese. I'm like, I don't get it. What am I doing here? Right. So I was bombarded trying to keep up with those who were having success. All right. And it was it again, looking back, I don't have regrets so much. I learned to appreciate those lessons because why I come on every Monday night at 9 is for that reason. Because I know that there are a whole lot of people out there who are going through what I'm going through and have gone through what I've gone through. And many have said, you know what, it's not for me. But sometimes it just takes a little bit of just pulling back a little bit and maybe just kind of thinking and the possibilities of what wasn't done correctly, what was overlooked, what was misunderstood. So shifting one's thinking, right? It is positioning you and I for real growth, and it's not easy. I can assure you, it's not easy to shift your thinking. And the older we get, it seems to be harder. I've said it before, and few of my episodes that the one thing I appreciate about myself, you know, is that I try to be open, even though I'm getting older. I know I look like 25. I know. Thank you. I appreciate it so much. All right. But yes, but I try not to be stuck in because I'm getting older. I try to stay cemented in my thinking. And it's not easy. It's a constant challenge, and I have to be very intentional about it. All right. And be open to listen to people who are even younger than I am. That also helps. So shifting your thinking, you know, for real growth is important. Changing your mindset, you know, from the instant gratification that we so desire for a more of a long-term growth is a very important thing that you want to look towards. And there's some things that you want to kind of look at. All right. There are about 5 things I want to look at when it comes to shifting your thinking for real growth. One is set realistic goals. All right. Realistic goals. I remember I had this particular program I was a part of, and someone said they wanted to have like 20 people sign up for that week. I said I want 10. I'm thinking like, Keith, no, don't do that. Don't do that. But I did it just to sound big, and what the chef said was maybe 2 or 1 because that's what I felt in my gut, 1 or 2, and build from there. And having that big number, you felt like it was always unsurmountable, like it was never going to happen. So if I said 10 people, when I said 10 people rather, and only had 1, I felt defeated. All right. Now, if I said 2 or 1 for the week, and I had that done, then I would feel accomplished. I would feel like, you know what, good, and I'll build on that. So set realistic goals based on your time, based on how your circle, based on your plans and so forth, and that will encourage you and make you and give you that boost to want to go on. All right. Number 2, embrace learning. All right. So setbacks again has become or should become a learning tool for us, right? Don't look at failures as I failed, but what didn't I do or what have I learned from that experience? All right. And don't box things up so much because our words sometimes becomes our thoughts, and then our thoughts become what we believe, and then that belief become our actions, and then our actions become like our normal routine behavior and habit. So we don't want to get in that routine. Thirdly, be patient. Oh my. A lot of us are so impatient. And I can put my hands and feet up in the air saying, yes, I've been impatient at times, not being patient enough to see the process. All right. Again, I'm thankful for the experiences that I've had to learn that patience is a very important part of it. Focus on value. All right. Focus on value. That's another thing. And sometimes that takes some thinking, some understanding, some groundwork as to what you're actually sharing it with others. All right. Value. So if I was to look at value in different ways, I could say, well, if I'm sharing something with you, how much time am I going to demand from you? Right? Because if the time for you doesn't work, then it won't be valuable to you. All right. Um, I look at maybe cost. All right. There are folks who are big on high ticket items. And I'm not saying anything is wrong with that. Right. Big high ticket items, have their place. But if you have a certain market or a certain consumer base, all right, or clientele that you're looking to reach, what works for them? All right. Now, you know, see me and my horn just a while ago. I do have a clientele and I do play for a particular audience. Now, I understand on that platform the overall cost of what they charge, you know, for an event. And so I learned to understand that. So I stay within the parameter. Someone today called me and said they wanted to have me for an event. And he said, when he reached out on the same platform, someone gave him a price and he couldn't believe how much it was. Now, I'm not negating that person's idea for a price or putting it down or saying, he shouldn't charge that much. But clearly, me understanding that platform, this person may have had maybe probably have a very advanced experience. Maybe the person, you know, I've probably gotten high um, rates from other places opposed to this platform. Maybe the person don't understand how this platform works. Maybe they don't care about it. They just give a number. I don't know what it is, but based on what he told me, I was like, wow, that's pretty high based on what I understand. And although you don't get the best thing with the rate, the best thing is not always with a lower cost. That's not the best person, but understanding your ratio, what you're dealing with, your platform, then you want to be logical in your price range. And what I gave, what I did, and share with him, he said, you know what, I can appreciate that, and that was cool. So value is important because you can't you can't just want to assume what a person think value is. You have to have them say to me that's valuable. I can't assume that because it's valuable to me, it's gonna be valuable to you. All right. It's a personal thing in many cases. And the last thing is stay consistent. That's a real important one. And I saw where, you know, my YouTube channel is probably a testament to that. You go back 1, 2, 3, 4 years and say, what has this guy been doing? What has Keith been doing? All right. I got some videos maybe look really crummy and look like I was just beat up and maybe, you know, not really getting it together here. But I kept going. I kept going. I kept going. And I realized that by keep on keeping on and on and on and keep going and going, I see where it led to other beautiful things to happen. And yes, so we talk about set realistic goals, right? Embrace learning. We talk about be patient. We talk about focus and value. We talk about stay consistent. Very, very important. So this shift, right? That shift helped me, right? It helped me see distraction as what? As something that's not a bad thing. All right. Instead, of avoiding them, I learned what? To evaluate whether they could add value or teach me something new. And that's so important. So you think about rethinking your thinking. Oh, that's a big one. Rethinking your thinking. A mindset reset. Yes, that's a big one here. So before I get to that next segment here, rethink your thinking. I want to spend a little time, and I want to do something real cool for you guys because I've been doing this for the last couple of weeks, and I'm enjoying it. Want to have moments for partnerships, and I think it's just so important that we highlight these particular entities and individuals who are doing some, call it boots in the ground kind of work. You know what I'm saying? I think it's just so wonderful to me anyway. And let's look at WAMO. WA.
This moment is for builders, visionaries, and brands with purpose. If you want access, alignment, and momentum, not just motivation, this is your step forward. Join the next level with Keith channel members. Whether you're a freedom chaser, freedom supporter, next level insider, or next level builder, this is where growth gets structure and community becomes currency. And for partners with a mission, we don't just promote brands. We position purpose. Bring your cause, your company, your message, and let's amplify it with intention and impact. Membership opens the door. Partnership expands the reach.
Oh, that's pretty cool. So you see, we try to provide and offer you and allow to see that we are here to give you and to provide for you what you may need or may be looking for. So looking at WAMO, as one of our partners, um, I want to highlight Women and Men of Excellence Outreach Ministries. All right, that's WAMO, and it's a ministry that's committed to what building strong individuals, families, and communities through faith, leadership, and service. And it's a ministry that I personally have known for many years, and I've watched that ministry grow and again stay consistent. So important through difficult times, grinding, building. But one thing I've always noticed, it was always about people. It was always about reaching someone else. And they focus on empowering people to walk in excellence, grow in purpose, something that we all need to focus on our purpose and make a real difference where it matters most. That's WAMO. If you believe in supporting faith led outreach and community impact ministries, this is definitely one to check out. All right. So you can learn, right? You can learn more about WAMO. And you can also be a part of their tax deductible donation, right? By visiting wamo.org/give. So you can visit wamo.org/give. All right. And this will be a wonderful way for you to participate and help to empower others. All right. So you can know that your gift is tax deductible. All right. Which is a good thing. So, yes, one of those great platforms.
We invite you to worship with Apostle Dr. Faith Walters. We're live every Sunday and Wednesday at 2 p.m. for Bible education and kingdom-centered services.
If you want to donate, please visit www.wamo.org/give.
Join our live prayer line every Monday morning at 7 a.m. via Excellence Radio Network.wamo.org. For those seeking emotional healing, personal restoration, or family support, we invite you to consider Therapy with Dr. Faith or book an appointment at wamo.org, Therapy with Dr. Faith. We invite you to explore the full scope of what we do. All WAMO initiatives and outreach programs can be found at wamo.org/programs. This includes Sister Georgie, Dr. Faith's Children and Family Program, delivering faith-based Bible stories of healing designed to strengthen parent-child relationships and nurture positive outcomes for tomorrow's children. Learn more at sistergeorgie.com. This also includes the Excel Project, our online vocational training center. Register now at theexcelproject.com to access IACET accredited skills certification programs, featuring courses in gardening, computer skills, cooking, sewing, mental wellness, and other essential life skills designed to help you advance personally and professionally. Our WAMO pop-up experience brings ministry beyond the walls, community outreach events designed to connect, inspire, and serve in real time. Come, taste and see that the Lord is good with Dr. Faith's Miracle Lemonade. Receive life-giving ministry messages and access kingdom-building resources created to nourish both spirit and soul. And for women who have been married and divorced, we invite you to join the First Wives Club of Elegance, a safe, empowering space for healing, wisdom, and sisterhood. Sign up to receive our once-monthly Inspiration Digest, a curated reflection designed to uplift, restore, and empower. Stay connected. Subscribe on YouTube at Waymo Ministries Apostle Faith Live and follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Waymo Ministries. You may also contact us at Women and Men of Excellence Outreach Ministries, P.O. Box 2077, Mount Vernon, New York 10551. Phone 914-699-2482. Email waymoministries@gmail.com. A heartfelt thank you to our donors, partners, members, volunteers, and supporters. May God bless you, keep you covered, and guide you in excellence.
If you want to donate, please visit www.wamo.org/give.
Yes. WAMO. And through our moments of partnerships, we have a goal in mind, y'all. There's a goal in mind, and the goal is to raise what? $500. Support women and men of excellence outreach ministries. All right. So what? It's a ministry that's dedicated to strengthening individuals. You've seen that. You've seen the clips. And what's amazing about this, about being online, is that each time we come on, someone new watches this. So maybe you may see it last week. You might be saying to yourself, you know what? I think I'll just donate something toward this ministry. But someone is seeing this new all the time. And so we're looking for you to reach out and just, whether it's $10, $25, $50, or some can give the entire thing if they want to, or more, whatever you feel in your heart, you're more than welcome to do that, to give a tax deductible donation. All right. So if it aligns with you, if you feel it like I feel it, all right, if it aligns with you, visit wamo.org to give. All right. The link is in the show notes. And we have another partner that we want to also let you know about, Moments of Partnership, right? And this ministry is called GFIH Ministries. All right. And I think it's a wonderful thing. Again, we're looking to really impact, and impacting people. It takes work. It's not easy. And, Gospel Foundation, National Healing Ministries, they're doing a mighty work. And again, providing healing, they find teaching, and they're reaching families across the globe. I understand several countries they're connecting with, and they're partnering with, and doing a great work. So if you're someone who believes in sowing into purpose, all right, you can support this mission, all right, with a tax deductible donation at gfihministries.org. So it's gfihministries.org. All right, you'll find the link in the show notes. All right, so just take a quick peek at what they do, and we'll take it from there.
Join us live every Sunday at 11 a.m. for our main church service. Begins with Bible Talk for Children, followed by Pastor Joseph Fordyce's Bible class. Join our live prayer line every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Global support for your prayer requests. Participate live via iBelieveInMiracles.apostledilreenfordyce.com. Give tithes, offerings, and donations through our preferred payment partner, Givelify, at www.givelify.com or download the Givelify app and use the ministry name Gospel Foundation International Healing Ministries. Other options include Zelle using the phone number 914-314-9538 or via PayPal, paypal.me/GFIH Ministries or email gfihministries@gmail.com. Contribute via our website at www.gfihministries.org/give. You can also support this ministry by subscribing to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/@GFIH Ministries, to subscribe to our monthly newsletter and take advantage of our programs. Simply visit our website at gfihministries.org/news-events. And while you're there, explore our community dashboard and connect with us for a deeper engagement.
Thank you. Thank you. So again, we do have a goal for this ministry. And again, you want to partner, we have a goal of $500. Oh, it's just a tiny amount, right? Each month we want to support this ministry, GFIH Ministry. That's Gospel Foundation International Healing Ministry. So what is $10? Or what is $15 or $25? Whatever you can do from your heart, if you feel aligned with this, because like I always believe, when I heard this clip started, I heard, I believe in miracle. I remember this song that says miracle. Sometimes how it's done, I can't see it. I may not know it, but I believe that someone out there or some people out there will connect. They will see, they will know this is in alignment with my soul, what I feel inside. And I'm going to support this. So our job is to what? Just let folks know. Just give it out in love, with integrity, with transparency, with heart, or with the right motive, and our creator will do the rest. That's how I believe. All right, not to pull people or force them or to, or to even beg. You ask, right? You ask and you shall receive. So that's what we're about. But what we take here as the most important thing is that we first give. All right. So when you see this platform here, my goal is to make it easy and make it as layman as possible for those who are looking for something that works for them. I want to say easy. It doesn't mean it's necessarily easy, right? Because what could be easy for me may be hard for somebody else. But the best way I know how easy is, right? And I'm hoping that as I do that, it'll connect with as many people as possible. That is what I am looking for. And so, getting back to my segment tonight, we talked about rethinking your mindset. All right. And rethinking your thinking. I'm saying rethinking your mindset, right? Rethinking your thinking. That's so important. And our next segment coming up is Stack and Grow. All right, Stack and Grow, Stack and Grow. Now you know. So, if you have been listening to my previous segments, you hear me talk about my over 20 years of stacking up and learning and failing forward, so to speak, and getting nuggets here. And I talked about a coach, how it came to a point where that was I would say the thing I needed the most. Someone who could now tie it all together, you know. And many years ago, when I heard about coaching and mentorship, I didn't see the value in it. I didn't understand it. All right. And it's when I went through that process, I'm like, oh, no, I see why all these people who are successful, I mean, some of their names, they're big names. They have coaches. They don't have it all. They don't know it all. They need to be sharpened. All right. And I'm like, oh, that's what it is. So when it comes to breaking free from the trap of microwave expectations, like I mentioned earlier, I've learned that growth doesn't happen by accident. All right. It just doesn't happen by accident. It requires a shift in how we think and how we move. All right. That's why I always encourage two key approaches that have helped me foster lasting growth. And the first one is this: I've learned to embrace patience and trust the process. It's a process. And there are times when I may look at a network of people and who will serve me the best and who I can serve the best. And the different mindset of people, and not that they're wrong and I'm right or vice versa, but it's what aligns that needs to happen. So there are people who want, say, five, we call it a day's wages. Their mind is up. They want a day's pay. That's all they want. All right. And it's funny because some years ago, I tried that approach. All right. I got onto these apps. It's called work apps. And each day I would get different jobs coming. Could be at a factory, could be at a restaurant, could be at a baseball game, it could be at a warehouse, it could be at a, whatever, you know, and I would pick and choose these jobs. And they would say, listen to me, you have your own time freedom because you can pick what you want to pick. You're not required to go to the job every day, pick what you want, and you get paid like the same day or the next day. And it felt really nice. But here am I going to this job and that job and that job and that job, driving here. And it's like, this is kind of overwhelming here. What's going on here? I felt like I was doing something, but I was not really getting anywhere much. I was just working for the day's pay. It had its season, right? It did. And it helped when at that time, but I realized that it's not something permanent I want to do. All right. It's not something permanent that I want to do. So I learned from that day pay or days pay mentality that there are folks like that. And I get it. But someone who understands building and learning and growing. You think about somebody who is now a CEO of a company or for maybe a record company or a radio station, but it started as an intern. All right. When it started as an intern, they may have went to get the coffee and they went to get the printer and they went to do this and go there and they were like pushed around, it seems, in their experience. All right. They had no name, but as they moved around this company, they saw things work. They saw how things connected. They learned this name, they got that number, they got that connection. People know who they were. They became activated into a system that they now learned about. And these same folk that were pushed around seemingly, right? No name, just do whatever you're told to do. And they didn't complain. A lot of them who were successful say they did it willingly. They did whatever they were told to do. And now they're now running major corporations because they understood that it's not just about my day's pay or just about me getting an immediate result, but it's about me building and learning. And then eventually I can master everything. All right. So you think about stacking and growing, that's what they were doing. All right. And that's why whenever I go to my events with my saxophone, some of these social events, I listen. I not only go just to play, I listen. It's a different environment. Some environments could be just a regular backyard, barbecue. But some events are business like. They are like sharp people. They're like well connected. And whoever I can get a number and a contact with and I can share information with and we can do some exchange, that have helped me in so many ways and have given me a certain kind of insight and understanding. So stacking and growing is a very, very, very important thing to understand and not see it as me not gaining enough or I'm not gaining what I need to gain, but see it as as a growth thing, as a building thing, all right, and as a network thing, and as a learning, understanding thing. And I'm telling you, I've got some lessons in that. And I mentioned to you that I've had experiences that I didn't know I was stacking up. I didn't understand, but I realized that, I was stacking up. So what? We embrace patience and trust the process because sometimes it takes a while. And the next one is shift my mindset. I had to shift my mindset. So I stopped believing that success had to happen immediately. Instead, I chose to what? See setbacks as lessons and progress as personal development. So it's a mental thing. All right. So we want quick achievement, of course, but we know that if you and I are going to start school today for a degree, a bachelor's degree, we know it's not going to happen in 1 year or 6 months. We expect at least 3 years if we maybe go to summer school and do some fast track courses, but at least 4 years. So we go in that with the mindset that it will take me 4 years to get this degree. And we imagine after the degree, we're going to have this kind of job and so on and so forth. We kind of think that systematically. All right. So if you're going to do anything online that requires you to win, you want to take the same approach that it will take some time. All right. And it's all good. It's a part of the process. All right. So by applying those approaches, right, what I've been able to recognize a few things, right, and move beyond what the limitations, what of instant gratification, something we love, right. So growth is not going to be rushed at this point, right? It's not going to be rushed, right? It's going to be nurtured, right? And what it did, it allowed what? It allowed me to grow naturally, organically. It's funny because before I get to my next segment, which is going to be your circles, your currency, um, I want to kind of look at something that happened to me some years ago that I didn't understand uh, was taking place. And as I get into that segment, I'm going to kind of shed some light on that because today it came to me very strong today. I'm like, wow, I didn't understand, but no, I'm getting it. So your circle, your currency. Oh, that's a big one. That's a big one. Um, you know, there are there are principles that we must look at when it comes to this area of what we say your circle, your currency. Many years ago, I remember being told several times that you talk too much. You talk too much. Wow. And it used to feel very disdaining and very cold and harsh. All right. You talk too much. Talk too much. I mean, I like talking. They weren't bad people, but they weren't my audience. And so, therefore, me not knowing the value of talking, I almost started shutting down. I almost started shutting down. And it's funny because as I started doing YouTube and I was doing my little research, I was told make short videos. Right, keep it short. I was like, good, because that way, I can get people to listen quickly and they can move quickly and that kind of thing. And they won't be bored and they won't feel like overwhelmed with me talking so long. And it's as I did it for many years, right? Keep it nice and short. And what was interesting about that, I was talking with the wrong audience. They weren't my clients, so to speak. But I look at things now, I'm doing podcasts and I'm like talking for over an hour and a half, sometimes over an hour easily. I'm like, I have to watch myself for not going too long because it comes to me so naturally. I like to talk. I'm a talker. But what has happened now with the coach concept, with the mentorship concept, it allowed me to give me that guideline where I can speak and not sound boring or maybe redundant. At least I hope I don't sound boring and redundant. I hope I don't. But It's up to you to tell me that. If you think I sound excited, give me a thumbs up, y'all. Give me something in that chat if you think I'm doing all right. All right. I don't claim to be an expert, but I want to be the best I can be and grow. All right. So now I found myself talking over an hour easily, but I'm talking to people who are my audience, and I believe, and those who and folks are responding to me, and they never say you talk too long. I never hear why you talk so much. I hear people tell me and break down each segment of what I'm doing. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me here. Folks are listening. Folks are getting this stuff, and I'm loving it. And these folks are not people who are just, etching around the fence. These folks have done stuff. They have gone to some serious things. They have done some serious homework. They have put their hands in the mill, so to speak. They have worked hard. Some have books and they write and they have systems and they want to share it on this platform. And they're not saying to me, you're talking too long. Now, how about that? How about that, y'all? All right. So you'll find that when you can do something or you do something and someone try to shut you down in your circle, maybe you want to leave that circle. Maybe you want to consider that circle that you're in and realize who needs to be in my circle, who needs to be out of my circle. Not out of your love and care, but out of your circle for growth and success. Because so many people, each and every day, get stomped down, beat down, discouraged because of someone's mouth. You know, there's some folks, right? If you're sick and you go to a doctor, don't let them come in there. Then you die faster. Oh, poor thing. Oh, God. Oh, what happened? Oh, Lord. It's like, wait a minute here. Wait a minute here. What are we doing here? You want the right folks, if you're sick, to be around you. Because it'll kill you faster. The wrong folks are around you. So your circle is so important. All right. When those around you frequently celebrate your quick success stories, it's easy to feel the urge to keep pace. But is that the way to go? Because they have a quick success? That's why a lot of people, when they so called win the lottery, because the circle that they were in come and celebrate. Oh my God, it's all excitement. I've seen it over and over again. Your sudden success, supposedly, everybody comes around. Now, these people didn't come and say, hey, you know what? Before you spend money on me, why don't you do that? Why don't you actually let the money give you money before you spend the money? I want to make some investment. Yeah, folks come around. It's about what I want, what I didn't get, how long I've known you. You're my cousin. You're my uncle. You're my brother. Have this need. I need a house. Need a car. The car broke down. My baby's sick, and no one is saying to you, build on that. So that way, if you do help me, you won't feel like you getting anything that's lessing you or dragging you down. All right, and it happens so often. That's why someone said, if you win the lottery, I mean, I don't play it, but if you do win it, keep your mouth shut. Get a lawyer, get some legal advice. All right, and you may have a chance to be okay. So the real game changes are those incredible growth orientated relationships. Right, these amazing individuals prioritize progress over perfection. Remember I told you about the coaching thing, mentorship. All right, they embrace what patience rather than quick fixes and cherish learning above simple overnight solutions. Being surrounded by people who inspire resilience, accountability, and long-term thinking has kept me what grounded and laser focused on achieving remarkable growth. Period. All right. So having the right people in the corner, believe me, if you have one person that's the right person, it's better than having 10 people that's the wrong persons. That one person, that two, that three that understand what you're doing and can see it. Oh man, you become unstoppable. All right. So I've learned that my circle, what is my wealth? My circle is my currency, man. And by dedicating my time and energy to relationships that foster steady growth, the returns are far more valuable than any quick success. I don't say this to brag or not, but I mentioned earlier on in the show 125,000 K. Now, for some, it may be not a big deal, all right, because they focus on millions. But for those who are new and struggling now, they may say, wow, man, that sounds good. And I celebrate my wins. And to have someone celebrate with me, oh, that's wonderful. The point is that I didn't get there by just accident. It's an accident. When it comes to the next level with Keith and see not just what I'm doing here, but what I'm tied to, what I'm a part of. It's a much bigger scheme that if you are a prober and an inquirer, you see a bigger scope. It's bigger than me. All right. I'm only a doorway for those who align with me. But there are folks, as you see there, they have ministries. Some folks love that stuff. There are folks, a part of this community, they're into politics. Some folks are into different things that you may like, wow, I didn't know that. HR stuff, and folks can help you with a lot of you looking for maybe those online easy to do concepts, those online passive incomes. What you see here is not your average slam bam, thank you, ma'am. They're highly researched, they're highly looked at, they're very critical that I deliver something or share something that my heart beats for and beats to. And say, you know what? If I can do it, me being a layman kind of person, so can you. If I can do this, man, if I can do this, so can you. I think about like my book, like I've mentioned to you, when fun is not funny, that I written, and I talked about how when I began, or before I began, it seemed like was a this insurmountable, overwhelming idea of a book, and many folks, I'm sure, feel the same way, and they may have a book inside of them. They may be thinking about a book and thinking, how can I start this book? I met someone just 2 weeks ago, and when you hear the story that they have, their life story, I'm like, a book would be powerful. And she was thinking, how do I start the process? So there are folks out there who are they're looking for different things to happen. And when I think about that, I'm like, you know what? I just started. I just took one step. And what we're saying here on the next level with Keith is make that small step. All right. Some folks, they've reached out and they have connected, they have joined and emailed. And guess what happened? I'm going to reach back out. And I'm going to have a lot of folks come and share um, their experiences to help to enrich your life. All right. And show you that it's not just me alone out there that is understanding the idea of growth and processes and time and patience, and give you a sense that it's a community of us out there. But if you're hungry enough, if you're hungry enough, you will see the benefit of what we have here for you. And have we talked about mobile money moves yet? Have we talked about mobile money moves? Can I be honest with you guys? Let's just let me be honest. This is kind of my favorite part right now. This segment right here. It's kind of weird, right? No, of course. I mean, your circle is the most important thing, but I just like the mobile money moves. You know, I think about my GPS. All right. And I'm telling you, folks, for the last 10 years, I have been using my GPS like a madman. Okay. Prior to GPS, I remember, downloading and go to MapQuest, I would download the directions, right? And I'm going to these events. And I'm like, I'm reading and trying to find where I'm going. All right. And I can't count how many times I came this close to accidents. I can't tell you how many times I said, I'm not going to that place because I'm going alone. No, I'll pass on that one because it was a lot more manual. It required a lot more manual skill. And there are folks who are very good with directions. That was not even my strong point. I was never really good with directions. So I always wanted and needed that direction in front of my eyes. And so when the GPS came about and I got a hold of it, can you imagine how happy this guy felt? I could just type in the address of where I'm going, no matter whether it's morning, noonday, evening, or night. I'll give you a funny story. I had an event one time with a campsite out in Jersey, and my time was at 9 o'clock. They were having some event like where they have those barn fire where they would roast we call it marshmallows, like a little, whatever it is. That was my time to go and play for them. And I'm telling you, folks, I put the address in my GPS, and it took me to some places I did not know was possible. I'm talking late at night when it's dark. I'm on a street where there's no street lights, and I'm off the road now into a campsite about 2-3 miles on the campsite, and I'm going to the actual place. And it took me there. I could not believe it. I could not believe it. Because what? The GPS mobile. So I've said it last week, I think a week before, that with our technology that we have in hands right now, we don't have that much excuse anymore. You know, if you look around lately on these YouTube channels and some places, they keep saying, folks, take a break from social media and learn these AI tools within 28 days, some say 30 days. I think they have a point in that. It's just that most people can't dedicate that daily task. They can't they can't dedicate themselves to that daily task for 30 days. So many folks don't do it. And they go as far as saying, you're over 40, you're over 50, perfect. We want you. They're saying we're making it simple. I don't know how simple it is. I haven't tried it yet. But one thing I know, what I'm sharing here is pretty simple, pretty layman. All right. And so mobile money moves is also a very important factor in you having success. Because these days, we know many folks, especially adults, we have kids. Sometimes we dealing with job issues, and some of us may be in school. Some may have a full-time job, maybe a part-time job, and maybe you want to quit that part-time job, but you're not sure how to navigate around that because you need the funds and things are tight, and you want to make sure that your family's secured, and you don't have the time to really invest in anything else. How about those things that you're concerned about? You don't have to be concerned about it. How about that? How does that sound? Do I sound believable or not? Well, there's no saying. The proof is in the pudding. That's how you're going to determine that by what you actually giving it a test. All right. Now, on my site, I have what they call hubs. Now, my Freedom Hubs is my blog, right? So the Freedom Hub, we can check out the blogs and see what's going on there. You can read them through, and you can click and see wherever it takes you, and you can definitely become acclimated with that. I have the Family Protection Hub. You know what that is? Can I give you a quick story? I was going to Florida some years ago, and I was going through Georgia. To make a long story short, I was going through Georgia, and you know, it's a cop's word against mine. He said I was speeding. I didn't think I was. I don't think I was at all. I don't think I was. There was a guy who flew past me. I remember the white car, and there was a truck that he overtake me and the truck, and so all of a sudden I'm seeing the siren behind me blinking and the lights flashing. I'm like, okay, I had to pull over. He said I was speeding, and based on what my speed was, that he said, because he never showed me proof, he said it's a misdemeanor. Now, what's a family man like me, who is a law-abiding citizen, doing with a misdemeanor as a black man? How cool would that be to have it on my record? But because of this family protection, I went to Florida and played at the wedding for my wife at the time, best best friend, and enjoyed my time in Florida. Came back to New York where I lived. And matter of fact, I was living back in I was living in Connecticut at the time. I was living in Connecticut and called a company with this service that protects family legally. I made a call and connected with someone there. They said, okay, we find someone in Georgia because this program is countrywide. All right. And they called someone in Georgia and went to court and represented me. And about 2 days later on, I got a call saying, Mr. Merritt, everything is cleared, everything is dropped. Just be careful next time. Can you imagine how I felt? Oh my goodness. But I did my little investment. All right. But it saved me so much stress, heartache, time, and money, and a record because I was protected by the families. Now, a lot of folks out there, you entrepreneurs, are you protected legally? Are you protected legally? Some of you are small businesses out there, all right? And you don't want to have an issue where you have to not deal with the law and it costs you so much more money. Check out the Family Protection Hub, all right? And you can always email and I can get back to you on that. We can get back to you on that as well. I have what we call a passive income hub. All right. You can check that out. Go in there and see what's in there. Check it out. All right. Because, you know, I'm a very layman kind of person. I'm not very complicated. So wherever I touch, it's usually is very, very simple. I'm a twin. And my brother, when we were younger, like, little kids, little toddlers growing up to be, preteens and so forth. My brother was very creative. He could take anything apart and put it back together. I mean, every toy we had, he would open it, check it out, back and front, and put it back together. My toy never got touched because if I open that toy, said I'm gonna try to mess with it, guess what happened? I cannot put it back together again. So I leave it alone. Keep it simple. Leave my car, and I'm fine. So whatever I touch, it's going to be simple ABC. All right. I have what you call a digital training hub. All right, where that's I would say in a way it's coming soon. Some stuff is coming there soon. And I have information there you can check out and look at and just listen on in and get your mind into what's coming. And more and more stuff will be coming in the future on that. All right. So there are things that are happening there. Some of you are big on books because the claim is that folks don't read these days. And it's not true. I learned differently that folks do read, you know. So for those who looking to purchase my book or to be a part of the book club, and you want to maybe have me come on, maybe share something with your audience, could be a church, could be a business, could be something that you feel that I can bring value, I am more than welcome to come and speak and share at your event. And if you give me half an hour, I'll stay with it. Even though I'm a long talker, I'll work with your time. Okay. I know when to balance that length of talking that I do. Yeah. So I'm excited about that. And so we offer these things here at Next Level with Keith. And I want you to just embrace what's yours, what you feel aligned with. And I'm telling you, but by doing so, you definitely will be getting the benefit of what we have to offer here. So, so getting back to the money, mobile money moves is that, you know, I've had to learn that not every fast move is a smart move. All right. And it's true. When it comes to finances, there are two major traps that can work against long-term success. All right. There are always traps that look out for these things and what can work against you from you reaching your goal. All right. The first is what? Choosing speed over strategy. All right. So sometimes speed is not starting quickly. Is when you start, you're expecting things to happen quickly. Some things you need to move on it right away. It calls for that. All right. Because there's something called times and trends. And sometimes there are things that take place and there are windows and time frame that you want to captivate and capture. All right. Uh, I'm not sure if y'all noticed, but as I observe the world and I'm doing my own personal investigation, there is a reset, I believe, that's going on. Look at AI right now. And the next 2, 3 years, it's going to be a massive difference to the world. And I think I mentioned this in my last episode that we may start seeing robots walking around like human beings, and maybe a lot of them doing stuff and walking around and seem like they're normal, acclimated into society. And we're gonna probably think it's cute, we're gonna, you know, hey, look at this robot doing that, doing this over there, and we may find it cute, but they're coming for your jobs. I've heard prediction about how many jobs are going to be gone within 2, 3, 4 years. All right, a lot. Recently, I understand one of the major telephone company over here in the United States went down for I think a day and a half. I understand that what came back up was mostly robots, AI. The company that did my car insurance 6 months ago, there was all people I'm talking to on this on the, when I called him to pay my bill out or whatever, ask a question. Now when I call them now, it's all AI. All AI. I'm like, where are the people? So folks don't realize that the job world is going to be significantly changed. And the thing is that one of the ways we can prepare ourselves is what can we do now? All right. In next 2, 3 years, 4 years from now, we can say, you know what? Because I started today, this is where I've reached. Each day you put off, each month you put off, only lengthens that time. So, you know, it's important. So the speed, it may take time, but when you start is important too. All right. So if you can start today, you have the strength, the mind, you have the will, do it. That's the idea. Start it. The second thing is is being fooled by temporary gains. Again, it's a trap. So instant wins can feel exciting, right? But they often create a sense of a false sense of security. All right. So these sudden wins can sometimes create a false sense of security. So I've learned this that real lasting wealth is built or is not built overnight. It's the result of patience, consistency, and making strategic choice over time. Now, how do you get strategy? How is that? How does that happen? Because sometimes what you have in your mind is not going to work. That's where the coaching and mentorship comes in. It gives you a strategy. Because you're smart. You have stuff in your heart, in your mind, but how did you now get all that together and connect it so you can see it? Because if you can't really see it, you won't know what's in front of you. But when you can see it, it's like, oh my goodness, it's like a whole new feeling of like empowerment when you can see it, like, oh, now I see how the dots are connected. And it gives you that drive and that passion. And you know when is at the end. All right. So mobile money and digital tools are powerful and we have them. But success still depends on how wisely we use them. All right. So a lot of what I share here, it can be done on your phone. You have a phone and Wi-Fi, it can be done. All right. You don't need an office space, inventory, set up shop. All right. You don't need all these things to make it happen. You have Wi-Fi and a mobile. I mean, that's amazing. All right. So see, once I slow down, I stay strategic and focus on long-term growth, the money moves become purposeful, not just fast. All right. So moving forward, right, with a clear expectations, by breaking free from microwave expectations is important. Breaking free from microwave expectations, right, to achieve what enduring success is very essential to move beyond instant gratification. I've said it so many times in this segment here that it's really a key to understand. Genuine wealth and freedom result from consistent, focused effort over time. Could be small, step by step, bite size, make it happen. The desire for immediate outcome often result in burnout and frustration. Instead of dedicate yourself to the process, learn from each phase and what? And celebrate minor achievements. And the last time, guess what happened? When I realized I had the 125,000 K, I went and had me a special meal that I don't have very often and celebrated my win. But guess who encouraged me to do that? My coach. I was like, wow, that's cool. Thank you. You say, you know what? Go out and celebrate. Do something nice. I probably wouldn't have, but by hearing that from someone else, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna do that. And it felt really nice going out by myself and getting a meal that I really enjoyed. It was a little more on the priciest side, but it didn't matter. All right. So celebrating wins is so important. And just getting started. You know, I think I mentioned on one of my episodes that when they showed me the statistic of those people who started podcasts and didn't last 2 years, I was surprised how many of them stopped and gave up. And one of the main reasons why is because they didn't have a strategy, they didn't have a coach, a mentor. And so I feel blessed. I feel super thankful that I have someone in my corner to help to steer me and give me those nudges and the nuggets when it's needed. All right, so I want you to join what the Freedom Chasers community. Are you a freedom chaser or what? Are you a freedom chaser or what? If you are, let me see if you can give a thumbs up in that chat or a like or something. Say freedom chasers in that chat. Let me hear you. All right. So what? You're going to take action what? Not tomorrow, not next week, but today. Reflect what? On your mindset. Evaluate your circle and seek new opportunities. Sometimes, you may have regret about what you did last week or last month or last year or last 5 years or last 10 years. But you know what? It's a new day. There are new opportunities. There are new things are happening and happening rapidly. I spoke to someone recently, and it seemed to be a common thing that people say. I was trying to share something with that person, and it was like, is it one of those things? I'm like, oh my goodness, what are you saying? Is it one of those things? No idea what it is, but just the fact that they had an experience or experiences in the past, they assume now it's the same thing again all over again, but it's not. Very different. And if once in a while you stumble upon it, and I'm telling you, it's just worth you exploring. And I want to say thank you for those folks who are reaching out and those who are looking to be on my show and share with you, the audience, some really important things, how you can expand your horizon, expand yourself. And guess what? It's never too old to learn. All right. And I'm grateful to actually to be here again. And you know, it's a blessing to me to give. And I want you to win. And someone told me today and in the past few weeks over and over again that nothing gives me more joy than when I see others win, especially those folks I'm working with or part of my network. I want to see you win. And I'm feeling the same way. If you told me that you actually came here, you found some nuggets, it impacted your life, and it put you from A to B or to the next level, I mean, that would give me so much joy because that's what I want to happen. I've been through those days when I saw people like numbers. All right, my next check, my next monthly, you know, commission. I've been there 10, 15, 20 years ago. I know what that is. But those days are long gone. It's about me bringing value. How can I impact you, the viewer, the listener, those who may be hungry, looking for something to sink their teeth in and win? All right. That's what it's all about. So I took time to learn me, understand me, love me. And that way I know when I do speak to you, you ought to feel that energy. You have to feel that transparency. You have to feel that calmness, that conviction, confidence. All right. And know that, listen to me, it's inspiration after inspiration. And we are part of a winning team. That's what the next level with Keith is all about. So again, thank you for being here in another segment. Thank you for staying with me for the entire thing. Those of you who did stay, and for leaving your comments, and for liking, subscribing, and sharing. Oh, it's a big deal. Thank you so much because others get to share and see what's going on here. All right? Because we share because we care. We share because we care. So, with that said, let me say again, good night. God bless you. Stay safe and move on it while you can. See you on the next segment, the next level with Keith. God bless you.
Strong organizations are built on more than strategy, they're built on people. At Human Impact Development Consulting, we help organizations strengthen leadership and support staff well-being. We put clear people systems in place that actually work. From HR advisory and policy development to leadership support, we cover it all. Our approach is practical, ethical, and people-centered. If ready for clarity, confidence, and sustainable impact, visit sandrinedunkley.com. Human Impact Development Consulting, where people systems meet performance. If today's episode spoke to you, it's because you're ready. Ready for your money to work for you. Ready for practical steps, not just motivation. Ready for faith-led financial freedom. Ready to build stability, peace, and confidence for your family. You're not alone on this journey. The Next Level isn't just a podcast. It's a movement toward freedom, one episode at a time. Stay connected. Listen anytime at podcast.keithmerritt.com. Explore the Next Level Movement Hub. Subscribe on YouTube at Keith Merritt. Like, share, comment. Your engagement helps this message reach more families. Take your next step. Visit keithmerritt.com/impact/the next level. Subscribe for the latest blog from the Freedom Resource Hub and join the Next Level Resource Network. Choose the hub that fits your journey: music and speaking, family protection, digital learning, passive income, or Keith's book and reading hub. Press play. Take action. Your next level is calling.